people might only take away one thing from your talk. So if you decide at the beginning what that one thing is, then it helps your planning and it helps everybody, because then you can repeat that a few times and people walk away with that. I mean, if it's three things, fair enough, A, B or C, but really we all have to get to the core of our message, because that's where death by PowerPoint comes in, because what people think a presentation is to tell the audience everything they know about that subject, when it should be completely the opposite. A presentation is large brushstrokes. It's strong, big brushing. It's like you're doing a painting on an enormous canvas. You haven't got time for fine little details. That comes out in notes that you can hand out. That comes out in a Q&A. That comes out in chatting to people at lunchtime. What you have to do in a presentation is give them broad brushstrokes and help them to understand this is where we're going. This is it, really. And then at the core of what I do, really, I guess if all presentation skills courses should be based around story, really. And I spend quite a bit of time helping people to understand that story is part of their life, but they've probably never noticed before. I'm amazed, particularly around public sector, actually. Public sector presentations, they've removed story. They just give data and they just narrate things. They just tell people stuff. And actually, we need to understand what a story is and allow it to come alive. And that's a massive part of what I do. Teach a lot about anxiety. Like I mentioned, it's happening a lot more. I'm seeing people design their presentations because of their anxiety. I see them allowing their presentation anxiety to take over, so that they don't feel able to be themselves. They hide behind a professional persona, behind a uniform, whether that's a suit or a jacket like this, or whether it's an actual uniform. They hide behind that because you've got to allow to be yourself, really. So I always say that I think a great speaker is 125%. That's 100% themselves, still professional. Obviously, you don't want to be inappropriate, but you're going to be professional, but be yourself. People buy the talks that I do, people buy those because they help their staff or their conference, but ultimately they want, it's wrapped up in a Lee Jackson package. It's me that delivers it, so I have to be myself, and I've learned more and more to be that. But then that's 100%, and then 25% is you have to be a little bit bigger for the stage. You've got to be a little bit bigger when you're up front than when you're not, because otherwise you're hiding behind a lectern or hiding behind slides, and actually it's really dull.